So for the first segment, beginning the meeting in terms of laying out the goals and structure, I would start with something like this. So hi everyone, thank you so much for being a part of our family session today. My name is Desiree and I will be your counselor and facilitate each of your ongoing family sessions. To begin, I would like to get to know each of you a little bit more and kind of dig into everyone's history and just kind of lay out the goals of what I want for each of you, and then if you have goals for yourself that we could also collaborate on, that would be great. So I always tell families, especially during the first session, and it'll get easier as we go, but it's always better if we each take turns talking. We don't talk over each other or interrupt each other, and that way we can really hear what the other person is saying. And also, instead of just thinking of a response while they're talking, we can actively listen and then take the time to come up with an appropriate response when they're done talking. So if we want to start with just, like I said, going around introducing ourselves and just trying to make everyone as comfortable as possible. You guys obviously all know each other, and I just want to make sure that I get a good understanding of your family dynamic and everything. So for the second segment, what might I say to interrupt any bickering or blaming that the parents might start to do with each other? I would start with something like this. So I understand that you're both really frustrated, and it appears that there's been maybe a lack of communication, especially over the past couple of weeks with everything that's happened with your daughter. So like I said at the beginning, let's just take our time and try not to interrupt each other, try not to talk over each other. We can go one at a time and then come up with a response to each person after they've said what they need to say. So I definitely want you guys to talk and communicate, but I want to make sure that it's done effectively and that, like I said, everybody gets the chance to be heard. And I also, fighting in front of kids or teens isn't good. I try to, incorporate them, as much as possible during these sessions, and I just don't think it's going to be helpful or healthy for anyone if they witness the arguing as well. So let's just take our time and we can kind of reset and start over. And for the third segment, how would I end the session, and including any homework to meet the goals that they have set? So I would end so thank you guys so much for meeting with me today. I hope you really got something out of our first session and hopefully feel a little bit more comfortable with this environment in general, because I know you haven't really sought out counseling or been to a counselor before. So going forward for our homework, I would like each of you to write down 3 goals that you have for yourselves individually, and it could be anything you want. It doesn't have to pertain to therapy. And then I would also like each of you to write down a goal that you would like happen, or you would like to achieve as a family. So you could sit down, have a little family meeting and discuss it, and bring that back to me next week, and we can kind of go over everyone's goals and see where we're at in obtaining them, and maybe come up with plans to do so, especially for the shorter term goals. So I also want you guys to practice the listening, the active listening, and the communication skills that we've gone over today. I feel that would help just in general, like your household environment, talking and listening to each other instead of just yelling or arguing. And that way, hopefully everyone comes back next week and we're able to move forward. And that's pretty much it, guys. Does anybody have any questions for me? Anything else that you want to talk about today or anything like that? All right, well, thank you so much for meeting with me, and I will see you next week.